Really love the practice of Reiki. Obviously, it's what my career is, it's what my passion is, it's what I love to teach. It is the backbone of my wellness practice. And I'm thrilled to see that Reiki is becoming ever more accepted as a modality of healing and introspection and journeying inward to release our traumas, our sufferings, and so on. And so this video is a proposition to everybody who's in Reiki or everybody who is looking to start their own Reiki journey of 3 questions that you might want to ask as you take your first steps into the world of Reiki as a healing modality. And perhaps further, not just your first steps, but your continued journey, right? When you're learning more depth in your practice, when you're maybe considering another teacher to work with, so on. And the first question that I would urge everyone to ask, regardless of where you are on your practice, is the teacher who you are considering working with making grandiose claims about their own line of Reiki? Now, those questions can be, those statements can be things like, my line of Reiki is more powerful, I connect you to angels, I do this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. There's a separation, I think, here between the belief in the ego and the connection to lineage. Now, I wouldn't be so hesitant if somebody is saying that they are only X teachers removed from Usui Sensei, for instance. Like I say that all the time. I'm 3 teachers removed from Usui Sensei. You can see that on my website at RootsofLife.org. And I say that because it's a beautiful honor to be that close to the root of the practice, because at the root of the practice, we are letting go of the lineage. We're letting go of the practice. We're letting go of the self and the belief and the grandiose claims and so on. And so, when we're looking then for these claims or these questions, the belief in the self is where it really starts to shine, right? Where the friction here really starts to shine through, I think. So for instance, if I was claiming that, because I'm 3 teachers removed from Usui Sensei, my Reiki is more powerful than other people, that's a red flag. Because I'm 3 teachers removed from Usui Sensei, you are going to be channeling a more pure line of Reiki, or I'm going to connect you directly to the channeling of the thoughts of Usui Sensei himself because I'm a channel to him. Those are all red flags, right? However, to me, what's really refreshing to hear people say is, because I'm so close to the roots of the practice of Reiki, I teach from a practice of surrendering the self, letting go of the belief, letting go of the ego, letting go of these type of claims. That's a very different conversation, I think, and I would urge you to seek out teachers who are discussing it from this perspective, because you're going to be finding out a deeper practice for yourself, because you're going to be turning inward then, right? Now, every one of these practices that are new or that have, all these types of claims on them, I would always ask, maybe just to myself or externally to the teacher, how is that true? How is it that they can channel directly from a deity or whatever? How is it that what they've discovered or they've been gifted themselves or has been channeled directly to them, how is it possibly true that it's more powerful than anybody else? Reiki is the energy of all things in the universe. So one person can't discover something that is more powerful. It simply doesn't make sense. All of that is a big red flag to me. And to me then, by a simple reductive argument, any split in the lineages of Reiki automatically to me become a red flag, because that means that somebody believes they have a better connection or a more powerful belief or a more powerful channeling or whatever it may be of Reiki energy, or more symbols or whatever. And again, to me, where is all of that framed? All of that is framed in the mind of the person who's derived that class. Nowhere else, right? They might fundamentally believe that they've channeled something better or whatever, but that's still in their mind. Reiki is universal energy. And so the only way we can fully connect to universal energy is if we let go of the mind. We let go and become silent and let go of the ego, right? And so this brings me to my second question that I want to pose here is the practice of Reiki that you're considering learning being taught from an external focus or an internal focus? Now, going back to everything that I'm mentioning in the answer to the first point that I'd like to raise, and I'd urge all of you to raise, we have to work to quiet the mind, right? Only when we've quieted the mind can we turn into the flow fully of Reiki energy, because we already are Reiki energy. Everything is Reiki. The only place where that is disrupted or the connection to that is disturbed is in our minds, right? So how do I practice Reiki more honestly? I have to work to quiet my mind, because my mind is the resistance to my healing, or my mind is the veil between my physical body and my connection to Reiki energy, as it were. There's many different ways to phrase that, right? I mean, it's the mind is the obstacle to overcome. I think that's the best way to phrase it. And so if you're learning Reiki from the perspective of doing, placing the symbols on something else, or believing that you can, heal other people or balance them or open them up or channel this and learn that, whatever it might be, then you're always looking external and your mind is always busy, because it's always focused on the idea of doing something, right? And until we learn to bring that back into the self, we're always going to hit dead ends, okay? So, is your teacher making grandiose claims? Question number one. Is that lineage or that practice of Reiki that you're considering learning being taught from an external projection or an internal place of surrendering, right? I think it's pretty clear from this video, my thoughts and my belief on that is the beauty of Reiki is an internal practice, right? So I would urge each and every one of you to, kind of ponder and consider the questions that I've raised here so far. And the third point that I want to raise, the third question that I want to raise here is there ongoing support for you as a student in Reiki? I've heard this so many times that people go and they learn Reiki and they reach out to their teachers, maybe a month after they finish their master training or whatever it might be, and the teacher never responds. They're gone. This simply goes against the precepts of Reiki. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will be kind. Just for today, I will be grateful. All of those are being broken if the teacher does not continually support the student. For instance, I walk with each and every one of my students for the duration of their training and their practice with Reiki. That doesn't mean the duration of the time that they're learning Reiki with me in my courses. That means after the courses. It means 5 years from now. It means 20 years from now. And why do I do that? I do that because my teachers do that to me. That's being honest. That's the support that you should be receiving from your teacher, because the journey inward with Reiki is not static. It's very, very, very dynamic. You're going to be uncovering and learning deeper understandings about yourself every time you practice. Well, I can't say every time that you practice, but I think you know what I mean. As you turn inward and you evolve, just like everything else in life, you're going to be uncovering more about your understanding, right? You're going to be turning more into the energy of the universe and less into the mind. And as that starts to evolve and unfold, you're going to have questions, right? So seek out teachers who will walk with you always along your journey, right? So why do I do that? Again, that's part of being honest. For me, the joy and the gratitude that I have for my teachings that have been passed to me, it just warms my heart. And, I'm a teacher at heart. Prior to getting into Reiki, I was a secondary school teacher. And so I wear that teacher hat as well, right? And I walk with students because it's my obligation and my duty and my love of the practice. Those aspects of my commitment to Reiki almost demand that I do that, right? My honor and my love and my commitment and my respect for my teachers for what they've given me demands and respects that I give that to my students, right? So that the journey of Reiki is not finite. It's not you've completed Shoden, Okudan, and Shimpuden with me, and that's it. Best of luck. See you later. It's you've completed these courses, and you continue to evolve, just like I do, just like everybody else on the planet does, right? So seek out a teacher who is going to give you that ongoing and dynamic support, right? Now, look, that could be from the perspective of paid sessions, right? Of course, like I offer mentorship, but I also offer free support to my students as well. And so I'll just give an example for me. What I offer is ongoing, free, and unlimited short question, chat support and so on. But when people really want a bigger chunk of time or they have bigger questions, then we have mentorship opportunities available. And of course, everybody has to make a living. Like, I wouldn't say that that's a problem in the slightest. Now, for me, what I offer for this ongoing support is mentorship, and which is paid, and then also free support via text for simple questions. Now, to me, I think that that's really fair, and that's an ongoing discussion then, right? So I have students messaging me all the time, people that I've worked with, 5, 10 years ago, still asking me questions via chat, and all of that is free. But when students have a bigger question, like how to open a business, how to, further incorporate the symbols, how to, feel into their own practice or the religious background of Reiki or whatever it might be, things that are going to demand a bigger conversation, then of course we have to sit down for private calls. Those are some of the things that I would look for in a teacher, because you are learning, perhaps for the first time, how to journey into the self, right? So, I hope those 3 questions to pose are beneficial to you. When you're looking for a teacher, look at the grandiose nature of their claims. Are they going to give you something nobody else can? Are they going to, open you up to energy that's 10 times more powerful than every other lineage? Are they going to give you 40 different attunements on all of the chakras and open this and do that? In my opinion, steer clear of all of that, because it's simply based in the ego of the teacher. Okay. So look for somebody who is not promising the world, because they will surely under-deliver on those promises and those claims, right? And then look for somebody who is teaching from an internal focus as opposed to an external one. Those external beliefs are always dead ends, because the only path forward is inward, right? And then seek somebody who teaches and supports you on an ongoing basis, where it doesn't just end at the end of your classes. So, if all of that has resonated with you, if you want to further your journey, or if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'd be very happy to chat, very happy to support. And if you decide to learn Reiki with me, it would be my honor and my privilege to walk with each and every one of you. You can find more about me at RootsofLife.org. And I would really encourage you to look at the other videos here on my YouTube channel to get a better feel about me as a teacher and my position on Reiki. If all of that resonates with you, if my lineage resonates with you, and if you're ready to take those steps, reach out. It'd be an absolute honor to walk with each and every one of you. Be well, everybody, and as always, In Gassho.